We are live with Who to Watch 2024, a recap of the draft, and moving forward now that the draft is taken for the NFL. We've also had the women NBA, and we have the women's college championship as well, and those that are drafted into the WNBA, and now the basketball championship is getting ready to take place in the playoffs, whatever. And then we have the tennis with Coco and Shelton and some others that are having their season. And we just have a lot going. There's a lot going on in the sports. I didn't know when I took this on that it was going to really be so much. So this week, every day, I'm going to be coming on, especially doing a summary of the draft, and then picking up on track and field and some of the other athletes out there that are making their mark already. This was really fun for the draft for me because I really did not watch much of the draft last year. And so I'm still like a new baby, probably like the Swifties, trying to, see this whole process. But I really was impressed this year. Let me tell you why. Because, well, I'll say this year. Um, I was really impressed because I've had a chance over the past couple of days, even through my phone and coming through my different social media accounts and listen to some of the gentlemen who and some of the analysts who were critiquing everything. I don't know how they do that. I am so glad I got who to watch because mine is kind of pretty much defined on, and I'll tell you what some of the definitive things that I'm looking at. But for them to sit there and have to go through and give their analysis and know the skills, oh, they are really sharp. I mean, female and male, they really did a great job with that. But I really was very impressed with some key things. So I want to go with that. Number one, okay, the 2024 seasons are coming. So we know all the teams were getting what they need. And so this year, it's based on my research, they've never had as many quarterbacks taken in the first round like they did this year. And so there were some surprises as well that people were talking about. So, but I was happy for Caleb Williams. I really wanted him to do well. And so I'm excited for him. I think he is a new, I call him a new quarterback warrior. That's how I see him. I don't know why, but to me, he, what Patrick Mahomes has on his side for what he does, what Brady did for him, this young man is coming up with the an infusion of like this. Mm, he's like a rock, and he's not afraid. He's ready against all odds, but yet there's this warrior in him that there's nothing that can't be done. So I hope they really can build a good team. And listen to me, I've been hearing this a lot. I don't believe you should be building a team around a quarterback. That's just me. So I'm new to this. I don't know the lingo. I don't know how this works. I believe the quarterback is a leader on the field, but everybody's on the field. So I believe what happens is you get a good quarterback where every you put people on the field where they complement each other like a chess game. Every chess piece has its own purpose by what it does. And when you win the game, you still have to use all those pieces. It's just like football to me. And so I believe Caleb and some of the others that were chosen are going to really the um, build the fascination for us coming into the new season. In addition to those players who are still out there, you still have, a lot of players out there who are still hungry. You've got, and I'm going to say just these few. You've got Burrows, you've got Jalen Hurts, you've got Lamar Jackson, you've got C.J. Stroud. Those are just a few of the ones that just came in last year. That really kind of showed forth last year. It's going to be coming back with a vengeance. So it's going to be very interesting. And then we got Stetson Bennett now, who's going to step back in. He's not a rookie anymore, but let me just say about the rookie. But yeah, he's not a rookie, but he will be a rookie because he's just not coming back in. But um, I know he plays like similar to what I'm talking about. I consider him. Um, I consider him a mind quarterback. He's kind of like brilliant from the standpoint of how he processes um, in his plays. That's what I saw when he was working with Georgia, and so that's why I feel he'll have a really good chance of doing very well in the NFL, whatever team he's with as well. And I think all the quarterbacks really have an opportunity to do that if they if everyone if the owners and everyone come together and they really build it like a team instead of just everything around a quarterback. And the reason I say it too because I want Caleb Williams and all the others to have a long career, and so we want to make sure they stay healthy and have an opportunity to really enjoy their journey. So it's going to be interesting with the quarterbacks. But let me tell you who I really was looking at and really taking note of. Um, I have something coming up that I want to do, and it involves linemen, the offensive line. And I love Jason Kelly, Kelsey, uh, the lineman, him. And as a matter of fact, when I was younger, in my younger days, when I around a few NFL, I was attracted to a couple of linemen. They were, I don't know what it was about them. They were big. But they just had this. They exude like this power, strength, uh, like I can't explain it, but anyway, and they were, but yet they were both of these gentlemen that I had an opportunity to meet. They were like gentle giants, though they really were, with all of that, greatness and strength and power and all of that. But the reason I'm interested in alignment because I noticed now, I looked it up, and 20% they say of the league in the NFL, the linemen are over 300 pounds. I was like, oh my gosh, because I looked at the combine and saw a couple of guys that were running and they were huge, and I was like, oh my goodness. And then they started showing film um, doing the draft of these linemen who were 300 plus pounds, and I was like, oh my goodness, they really are going to change the game because um, they're going to if they're fast and they're big and they're able to play their positions very well and be intimidating. It's going to be interesting just to see the leeway that the quarterbacks have, or what the defenses are. If you got a 300, two, 300 pound on that side, and you got 2 or 3 other, it's almost going to be like watching, a tug of war, so to speak. But I'm looking forward to who those linemen are, and I know the ones who were drafted recently. We'll talk about them later, but I was very impressed. I was like, oh my gosh, it's just going to really change the game a lot to me. But it was interesting to know that they had that many. I didn't know they had that many young men um, playing that were over 300 pounds. So to me, that was an eye opener. The other thing that I noticed is that I did a lot. I like to do who to watch from the standpoint of okay, so we know no one yet has been able to, and I keep singing this, has never been able to bypass the Dolphins win season. So no one's had a total winning, without any losses and go all the way and win the Super Bowl. Secondly, I noticed that the statistics were showing that there has not been, and this is for the rookie quarterbacks coming in now. There has never been a rookie quarterback that has made it to the Super Bowl as a starter. And there's also never been a rookie quarterback that has won a Super Bowl. So for all you rookie quarterbacks who are coming in, that may be something the target that you want to hit because Patrick Mahomes is going for three-peat. I'm sorry, for the Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson's coming in with his. Jalen Hurts wants it. Burrows wants it. C.J. Stroud definitely is coming in. Like, okay, I may not be a rookie this year, but I went pretty far last year, so it's going to be very interesting to see how all of this plays out. It's going to be a very good season, I believe, because you do have a class for the past, I would say, last year specifically when I start watching it to this extent, and then the one that's coming in new, they are coming in with a vengeance. So it's going to be very interesting to see how all of. But there's a lot of records still out there because I believe Detroit still. Cleveland Browns, none of those have ever been in the Super Bowl. We still have like I think 4 teams that's never been into the Super Bowl, and so I'm looking forward to those type of challenges to see how that's going to play out with throughout the season. The other thing is with who to watch. We didn't really do it much, but this year we do really want to cover as well these young men who they are as people, just genuinely, day to day. Outside of when they're not in the NFL, the season's over and they've got to go. Uh, Excuse me, whether they're with their family or whatever, but they are technically, living their lives. And so what was interesting for me for the draft was to see some of the young men with their, their significant others, or their wives, or their parents, or the children, and seeing basically how I really love the fan. I love the uh, where I could see the emotions of the young men, their dreams coming true, and of the parents or the family, the cheering. That was even more impressive to me, and I got more involved in that than even seeing the ones come up on the stage. So from that standpoint, that was very interesting to see. I think that what we're going to see is in the NFL this year, we will see a lot of growth. We'll see a lot of versatility, and we're going to see a lot of camaraderie amongst the players. And we're also going to see how the how they integrate into the system, because there's looks like there are going to be so many changes now that it's going to be very interesting to see how these teams are built and what's happening with them. And I'm looking forward to seeing how they evolve as well. The other thing that I want to talk about real briefly, excuse me, what did I have in here as my notes? Oh, I wanted to know. I wonder what the Swifties thought about the draft if they watched it for the first time, and because I'm still watching it through young eyes as well, new eyes rather. And I was wondering, now that they have this new audience with them, they get to see, even though they came in on the game in mid-season, now they get to come and see how this works out, or how they started, how they built it, how they work with the players, how. And I thought I was wondering how that was working out for them. Um, Excuse me, because we do expect them back, probably even much more now. And it's going to be interesting to see how all of that works out. I want to congratulate um, everyone who went through the draft. I want to congratulate even those who may not have been chosen for even being on the ballot to be nominated, or even being free agency, or being able to walk on, or whatever. I heard there were some things about some players walking on even after the draft was over, or even being chosen after the draft was over. Um, so I am very excited to see those young people have another chance and opportunity. I want to say this to those who didn't, and I really mean this. Don't let a no this year not mean there could be a yes between now and next year. Um, One thing about football is in and out. You can tell, and so what may not have happened this time does not mean that you may not still have an opportunity to have your dream and fulfill your dream with the team, and have an opportunity to play. Because it's one thing to be on the team and be on the practice squad and all that. It's another thing to be able to play. So I know Aaron Donaldson, he retired. I know Eric Armstead went to another team. I think it was Jacksonville. People are switching around like that, even with the draft going on. There's some still movement and whatnot. But I want, for those of you who didn't, I want you to stay encouraged, still work out, still do what you need to do. We don't know what's going to happen. There are some, I believe there's some other opportunities that may be coming up. And I'm not even talking about those, the other leagues or whatever. Excuse me, but we never know. We don't know what's going to happen, what's going to come up. We don't know. There may be other opportunities that may present itself that still allows you to play and or be even a part of the NFL, or even be a part of, you know, maintaining your skill sets and whatnot as a player. So, oh, I know what I'm saying. I'm glad I said that. I was looking to see has there ever been a three, um, a player that played three different sports at the same time. In other words, not at the same time, but three different sports. I know Dion did, him, Kyler Murray, I think they said, and I don't know. I don't know Murray if if Mahomes did, but I know he has a baseball background. But what other um, what other skill sets, talents rather, are they using and being able to use after football? So I don't know about anyone being able to play basketball and football. I don't know anybody to be able to play. I know there's some football players that play baseball. So it's just interesting to see because there's some young people that are coming up that have the skill set to work two team, to be able to work two different sports, professional sport careers, and that would be very interesting to see. I think pretty much that's all I wanted to say for today. And I know what else I wanted to say. I was very impressed when I talk about being off the field. I was very impressed to see how some of these people, like Wark Dunn, putting single parents into homes, and um, I think LeBron James for basketball doing something with the kids, putting so many kids through college, and other people building homes, and other people just having their own training camps to bring up the next generation. I am so impressed with that. So I'm going to be looking more into that to see who's doing what and how they're giving back and really having a good time in raising up the next class. Awesome, next generation, awesome in sports. So hats off to you all who are doing that. I'm really, really impressed with that, and I pray that it keeps going and it gets even bigger. You know, so the other thing I wanted to say was I wanted to know who you all thought, and you can, when I put everything, you can go ahead and give me your comments. But I wanted to know who did you think was gonna, based on now that the draft is taking place, and we're looking at everything that's done. Is it too soon to tell who may possibly be good at getting into uh, a championship slash playoff mode now, or we're gonna have to just wait and see? I'm sure we probably just have to wait and see because football is just like that. You have to wait, and every game is a new game, you know. So it'll be interesting to see how a lot of things play out. I don't know how many kickers. I was looking trying to see how many punters, kickers. And there are some names that you just don't really get to see or hear much of. So I'm not sure, but those I'll be looking at those. I want to look at some of the players who weren't prime. Quarterbacks were prime this year. So I want to look at some of the running backs, some of the defensive end, cornerbacks and safeties. Cornerbacks and safeties, I really want to see who's. I mean, defensive backs and the safeties. I definitely want to see that. And also, I can't remember the young man what team he was with that ran the touchdown back. He was really really good, and looking to see that as well. So on this note. 2024, we're going into May now, but I will be coming back tomorrow and a couple other days just to kind of do a recap of the draft and to kind of start also addressing some of the other athletes, the IE being track and tennis and the NBA now. And also, we had this college championship. I haven't even talked about that for the men or the women. So I'm looking forward to that. And we'll be seeing you soon. But to the draft, thank you. You all did a great job putting it together. Oh, I was also amazed by the number of people in Detroit that came out and did a watch party. I had not seen that many people come out. That was really something. But I think it's going to be a very good season. I pray safety on everybody during the off season, and also while they're waiting to go into season. Everybody stay strong and stay safe. But anyway, this is me signing off on Who to Watch 2020-24 for the NFL and the little coverage of the draft, and excited to see what's going forward in the NFL for getting ready for the next season. So you all have a good evening and take care, and I'll be talking to you tomorrow. Bye. Who to watch?